come from lefty Nick Lodolo, who is coming, Lark, off his best outing this season.
Really good. He pitched in New York against the Mets, and he was dominant. And the thing that sticks out about that particular game, he threw 98 total pitches. He did not walk one single hitter. Really good, 6 innings, gave up 6 hits. And it is about him establishing that fastball so that that breaking ball is good. The last few times out, breaking ball has been outstanding.
The 1 run he surrendered, a solo shot by Marcus Semien. Homers on the year are up, walks are up, but the walks eliminated that last time at his best strikeout showing of the campaign to date. The lineup that he'll oppose, well, they're on pace for 110 wins. They've won 3 in a row, 8 of 11. Acuna, Harris, Olson, who has the 3rd most ribbies in the circuit, and the overwhelming majority of those ribeyes have come in victories. Albies, Dubon, Riley, Mateo, Kim, and Trump. For Walt Weiss, Braves with a 9.5 game lead in the National League East. They have been on cruise control. And they've also seen life from their leadoff hitter within the confine of this set. 2 jacks yesterday for Ronald Acuna Jr., who's gone deep at 3 straight. The last time he homered in 4 straight, it was May of 2023. The book on Acuna this year, Lark, entering the set, fastballs, particularly up in the zone. In his first at bat of the series, he was down 0-2, buried on high heaters, and then a breaking ball was sent out of the ballpark.
Yep, can't make a mistake, not now.
Hot corner out the gate, first pitch out the gate, rock to left. He is locked in, and he stared at that shot. He held the bat and watched it. A long admiration from Acuna. It's a 1-0 Braves lead. There are a lot of Braves fans here. There's a lot of celebrating behind that Atlanta dugout.
Well, Acuna is definitely one of the best in the game, and he's on absolute fire right now. That fastball at the top of the zone, I mean, that's the book. You got to get it up, but you can't just get it up. You got to get it up, and you got to get it in and up. Up and out over the plate allows him to get extended. Hitters need space and time. His timing was perfect. The space was provided by the location of that pitch. 1-0.
Now left on left against Michael Harris II. Well, that's the scary thing. This Braves team seems so complete. You know, their bullpen doesn't walk guys. They have a lockdown closer who has been a Red in years past in Rice Hill Iglesias. They have a seemingly healthy and better Spencer Strider, certainly than he was a season ago. 2 other starters waiting in the wings. If Acuna can carry this series beyond, what can the Braves be if Acuna is his MVP former self?
Well, they're the best team in baseball right now, at least in the National League, and I think that's what they have their eyes affixed.
And after Lodolo gives up a jacklark on the first pitch of the game, he falls behind Harris 3-0 and walks it. Matt Olson takes strike 1. Olson homered again yesterday, also walked and lined out. He leads his team with 16 homers. 3rd most RBIs in the majors. Decent lead for Harris. Gets a look from Lodolo. There's that good bender. Is there an ideal shape to Lodolo's breaking ball for you?
Yeah, and I think it's not just Lodolo. I think it's all pitchers. Depth is really, really important. He gets a lot of run, a lot of left and right just because he is so long, and he throws from that first base side of the pitcher's mound. But that sideways is just either on the barrel or up the barrel. That depth is swing and miss. So you love the sideways, but you want the vertical.
Slightly larger lead for Harris. Fouled away by Olson.
I like that pitch right there, though. I feel like that is really, really important. He missed a lot with Michael Harris away, but this is a convicted fastball on the inside part of the plate. Psychologically, that does so much. And he got away with that curveball right there because I believe that pitch that was on the inside part of the plate. If not, Olson's chin is over that plate. He's looking for the ball on the outside part of the plate because everything's been out there, and he hammers that ball because it was a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate.
Foul tip handled by Higgins, strike 3.
And a good bounce back by Lodolo.
Ozzie Albies, ground rule double and a run scored yesterday. Bouncer to left side. Bare hand play by Sal Stewart on a bounce. Got it.
Really good play by Sal Stewart. Sees that high bounce, secures that ball, takes a little extra step. Probably could have gone to field that ball, but look where it is. That ball's on the right side of his body, so he probably had to go because of his angle of attack with the bare hand. Good play.
Now Mauricio Dubon. So, Lark, the Braves have some stellar stars. They also have a number of men who have bounced around some, have worn a lot of unis, that are enjoying either outright career years or one of their better in a long time campaigns. Guided to first, handled cleanly by Lowe. Leadoff jack by Acuna. Similar sight on this series. Reds already have to respond as they grab their Blade, who has settled into that third spot. He's been there predominantly in the last 11 days. That's been a buffer between Ellie and Stewart. Gino Suarez is in a funk. Nathaniel Lowe is hot. Steer's about as hot as he's ever been. Will Benson has been in a rut, but gets the nod today against his hometown team and P.J. Higgins. The Reds take on a man armed with one of the great arms in the game. Now, the stuff is not quite the same post Tommy John, but the strikeouts and limited contact are largely still there for Spencer Strider.
Well, it used to be a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Now it's a lot of success that he's had against the opposition with the curveball. And the fact that the Braves have won all 5 of his starts. This is his 6th start of the season, but all 5 of his starts this year, the Braves have won 5-0 in his starts.
Blake Dunn doubled and walked yesterday, takes a strike. Now, Strider does have Ohio roots. He's now 27 years old. He was born in Columbus. He grew up a Cleveland, then Indians, now Guardians fan. Originally committed to play college baseball as a Bobcat in Athens at Ohio University. Swing and a miss. Pretty nice breaking ball. In fact, he was drafted by his boyhood team. Cleveland drafted him 35th round in 2017. However, his profile had changed some. He did not play in the MAC. He instead pitched at Clemson and was later a 4th-round pick by the Braves in 2020. Now, he made his debut first day of October 21. His first outing in his first full year came against the Reds in 2022. Pitches in on Ellie De La Cruz, who tripled yesterday, but does find himself hitting a .146 his last 10 games with 19 strikeouts. Strider rolled against the Reds in that April outing in 2022. 2 innings, perfect, 5 strikeouts. He rematched with them as a starter here in Cincinnati, 2nd of that July. Struck out 11, 1 hit, 1 run, 6 innings. He was runner-up for National League Rookie of the Year to his teammate Michael Harris II. And he lands a backdoor breaker. 23, Lark, that's when he dominated. He broke John Smoltz's Brave strikeout record, led the majors 281, led the majors 20 wins against 5 losses, 2 starts into 24. Tommy John. Poked off the end of the bat by De La Cruz. Acuna watches that one fall in. Base hit. So how do you see him as different? You mentioned the breaking ball. How do you compare Strider today to that yesterday when he seemed to be on the fast track to become a pitching face of the sport?
Yeah, I think it's more after Tommy John, it's more strategic in the approach. I thought early in his career it was, I'm going to shove this 100-mile-an-hour fastball down your throat and then I'll go to my breaking ball. Now he is a much different pitcher, much more mature. I think the Tommy John surgery has a lot to do with that. I feel like anytime a pitcher that is a power guy has any kind of arm injury in his comeback, he's not going to have his 100-mile-an-hour stuff. So he has to kind of change his mindset and think more about pitching, more about finesse. Not that he's not throwing hard. I mean, we've seen 96, 97 miles an hour out of his hand already today, but it is more, let me put the pitch where I need to, as opposed to just kind of force feed you with my hard stuff.
Oh, Blade rips one to right. That's down for a scalded hit. De La Cruz starts through second. Acuna having trouble getting to it. Wave is on De La Cruz. Blade slows at second. Ellie scores from first. A standing double drilled by J.J. Blade, and the Reds tie it at 1.
J.J. Blade just continues to swing the bat well. Double down the line. And Acuna, you see him kind of gingerly going into that corner. Speed and never goes into a slump. Ellie just low flying around the bases.
I think you make an observant point there. Sal Stewart stands in. He was 0 for 4 yesterday. Did line out. First pitch, early turn foul. Acuna's got all the tools, right? Prime Acuna has huge speed, great arm, awesome power, excellent hitter. He also loves himself, likes to watch a lot, can poke the opponent in the wrong way, I think, at times. Certainly the fan at times. But he is a celebrated talent. At the same time, he has had multiple well-chronicled injuries, including the ACL. And for a man who's known as an elite defender, that was a rather hesitant play at both the base hit by Ellie De La Cruz that I think might have been playable, and the double that he seemed less engaged at going after.
Well, we saw a ball hug the fence before, and you know, I think just the unfamiliarity in playing down the lines here in Cincinnati, I think that's a thing. Each ballpark has its own personality and quirks and nuances. You've got a chain link fence, you've got a concrete pad that you have to deal with in the corner.
Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Strider. So now Eugenio Suarez, who had back-to-back 2-hit days in New York, a double in each, does find himself now 0 for his last 11, couple of walks, 5 strikeouts. His power tends to blossom on the later stage of seasons. And to a certain extent, he's got a big back of the baseball card. He's going to have a lower average. He's going to have some higher strikeouts. But end of the year, should be able to ink him in for 30 and perhaps, maybe in a best case scenario, 50, 60 something home runs. He is capable of doing that. And that's part of the trade-off. Like that's going to happen, and that happens with a lot of power hitters of his ilk in today's era. I'll take that trade because I think that guy's going to hit home runs and win you games. Check swing seemed to go. Appeal says no. Braves infield was all striding off, but Spencer Strider remains on the mound.
I think Gino is thinking, thank you very much.
Tapped foul. Dubon loosening his arms in left. Strider with that Hall of Fame level stash. Foul tip, strike 3.
Well, the Reds needed to answer, and answer they did. J.J. Bleday driving in Elly De La Cruz.
Forges a tie. A critical RBI double that gets Elly De La Cruz in from first base. Austin Riley leads off. First pitch fouled away. And it's not just anecdotal. So among men with 100 plate appearances in the National League, he is #1 in OPS. The only men in the sport better are in the American League. Ben Rice, who's been on a tear for the Yanks, and Yordan Alvarez, who's threatening to win the Triple Crown. That's it. End of list.
Well, he certainly has been really, really good.
Riley bounces one to third, stabbed by Sal. And Stewart makes the play, 1 away. Reds defense first started right, first start period for Will Benson in a little over a week. Dunn and Bleday. Dane Myers was scratched yesterday with illness, still battling the illness today. Stewart, De La Cruz. We're seeing a lot more lately, Lark. Steer at second and Lowe at first base.
Need offensive production. Trying to get it from somewhere.
Jorge Mateo fouls back, strike 1. Mateo homered yesterday. He has both knocked in a run and scored a run in 3 straight games. And he's one of the many examples on this Braves team of players who have worn multiple unis that have found a new life. This one sailed to center, make it right. Dunn's got, Benson has it, and there are 2 away. He was a Padre when he first broke into the bigs, hit below 200 in 2 years. With the Orioles was a struggling just above the Mendoza line bat, then plummeted below that in his final campaign. Ha-Seong Kim. Change-up strike. And Kim cracked the stateside bigs with the Padres. Had a short tryst with Tampa and then joined the Braves during last year, where he hit .253 in 87 games. He's under 100 right now in only 42 at bats. Strikeouts have been an alarming concern. And sent over third, just foul. Eludes the ball boy and skips to the stands. How do you rate his approach there?
Well, I think any time you're facing a left-handed pitcher, you've got to be thinking, hit the ball to right center field, just a little bit out in front on that hanging breaking ball.
I was talking the ball dude seated in the chair. That's floated to left, and Bleday's got it. 1, 2, 3. Well, the Reds even at this stage. Nathaniel Lowe is one of their hotter hitters. He'll get it going. Leads it off for the Reds against Spencer Strider. Lowe rides an 8-game hit streak, 367 in that time with plenty of pop. He has 11 hits in that hit streak. 7 have gone for extra bases. Strike 1. And includes 3 of his 9 homers. A lot of pull power to right center. That's sent to left center, hangs a bit. Crisscrossing Dubon has it in front of Harris. Brief word now from Big Sandy Superstore.
You'll find the best selection of the top brands at the guaranteed lowest price. Big Sandy Superstore in Fairfield and the Kenwood Shopping Center.
Spencer Steer rides a career high 18-game on-base streak. hitting 300 in that time, on base in the mid 360s. It's tied as the longest active in the bigs. You wonder to what extent does ABS help a guy like Spencer Steer? The consensus seems to be that the advent of ABS has impacted the cold zone. We'll have better data on that, I think, when the year's over. You just watch the games every day, and I'm not sure that four-seamer up, top of the zone and just above is as prominent or as successful now. And that is the pitch that gave Steer so much trouble when well executed. You can still use it, but you better have super fine control, because if you miss, then you're in the hitting zone.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from pitchers. Pitchers tell me, especially power pitchers, that strike at the top of the zone is kind of going away. And yes, Spencer, I think the book on Spence was fastballs up at the top of the zone. So you would think ABS would certainly help him, because that pitch is being called less as a strike.
And that's something I would not have anticipated. When I thought of ABS, I thought of the men burned on bad calls. With the Reds, the highlights were Ellie De La Cruz and Matt McLean. Foul tip on that slider, strike 3. And in truth, I don't know that ABS has helped either man much at all, even though Ellie has become a better player. He doesn't use it very much. He's not very good at it. And McLean has in some ways regressed this year, and ABS has not really impacted him. But without even really using ABS, I think it may have helped Spencer Steer. And I bet there are other examples of pitchers and hitters and all across the sport. Will Benson rolls one to second. That's a lightning quick inning. Benson now 2 for his last 24.
Nick Lodolo with his blister issues, Red Lauder, Brandon Williamson, and then we go into the reliever staff. You're talking about a closer and 2 primetime setup guys. So it has been a mishmash of trying to get matchups and trying to get guys to perform, but the injuries have been a factor. There's no question about it.
Yeah, certainly significant. Chadwick Tromp lifts the ball to center. Dunn deep gap makes the calm call. Jim, what is the latest on Graham Ashcraft, who was seeking a second opinion?
Well, he got that second opinion. I do believe he's going to have the PRP injection coming up this week. They believe that will up the healing, and if it goes according to plan, you could see him back this season. So when you're waiting on those results, and one result is Tommy John surgery and the other is you might be back this season, there's a huge difference. We'll see.
Ronald Acuna Jr. homered first pitch of the game, cracks a foul. And Pierce Johnson, could he be back sooner than later?
Yeah, they believe that they kind of dodged a bullet, at least to this point. They precautionary set him down, and the imaging came back. It was all positive. They believe that he'll just be without pitching for a couple of days, and they do believe it'll be a shorter stint on the IL. So they believe they dodged a bullet there.
Well, thank you, Jim. And I can't help but wonder, Lark, June 1 tends to be a magical date on the calendar in most baseball seasons. That's often when there are opt-outs that can be invoked by pitchers whose names you would recognize that are toiling in respective minor leagues. I think of Tommy Kahnle, who's a piece in the Boston papers today. It's believed that he has an opt-out June 1, swing and a miss. And the Reds right now, because of how many wounded relievers they have, are probably among the many teams looking out for names like that.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how aggressive, if aggressive at all, that Nick Krall and the front office staff will be in trying to address some of these pitching issues that we've had. Just so many injuries.
After he struck out Acuna on the curve, bends one down and away to Harris, who walked his first time. One and one. Harris, the best road hitter by average in the big leagues, entered today hitting .360 on the road. And it goes beyond the average. His OPS on the road trails only that of Mike Trout. That is whistled into center, base hit. He just finds a way to find the baseball.
Yes, he does. Lefty on lefty, tough assignment. Look at that swing right through the middle of the plate. Perfect illustration on how to hit.
Now Olson struck out on a foul tip his first time. Skied left field. Leday and Stewart give a look. Leday, no room. Let's take a look at how Lodolo went after Olson the first time.
Yeah, big. And Olson is looking for space and time. You crowd him with the fastball on the inside part of the plate, and because he's thinking in there, you're able to go away and then climb the ladder.
Popped up. Higgins. Lodolo works around the 2-out hit. Deadlock still.
Soler has played for Walt Weiss, so I think he goes in there not with too much hesitation. He knows that Soler is not going to try to beat him down, but good form on that tackle.
It's our Yellowwood bringing the lumber for today. That was April 7th. Reynaldo Lopez had thrown a ball that went above Jorge Soler's head. Punches thrown. And Weiss was asked about that tackle. He said after the game, I had to get him off his feet because he's going to hurt somebody. Like, he felt earnest fear that there would be consequential violence without that formed tackle.
Just glad he didn't hurt Walt Weiss.
Oh, a stick and wrap. That was old school. You don't see that wrapping up anymore nowadays.
Elevated to Higgins. Lark, you were a DB. Evaluate this tackle.
Like I said, he got the head in front, wrapped up, kept driving, took him to the ground. As I said, good form in that tackle.
These days, even the football guys at the pro level generally don't hit in camp or practice for stretches. And Walt Weiss showing he can still drive that shoulder, get it in there. Bounces home. Jim, with Higgins up at the plate, what's the latest on the mending Jose Trevino?
Jose Trevino threw around the infield today, threw to the bases from behind the plate. He's been running about 70%, and he has been chomping at the bit to be cleared fully for all baseball activities. And this is just me talking. I think he's got a very good shot of coming back to the big club on the Reds road trip, somewhere in there. This is him running earlier today. They haven't been able to turn him loose. You can see he's not totally running full out, but chomping at the bit. And the way that he calls games, they need Jose Trevino.
There's a reason they brought him in. They signed him to multiple years. Blake Dunn, lineup flips over. He struck out on a slider first time. Takes a slider strike. So it's one time through for Strider. Anything standing out with this version?
Yeah, that breaking ball. I think his ability to throw it, that was a slider right there. But his off-speed stuff.
Bunt goes foul.
His biggest change I feel like we've seen in Blake Dunn. He's playing much more free and easy. We've seen him make some outstanding defensive plays. I feel like he's taken much more control in the outfield and understanding pop-up priority and kind of running the outfield. And then that bunt, understanding who he is as a player. And if he puts that ball down the third base line and it dies like that, you have no chance because he can fly.
Rips through the upstairs heat. That's now 5 strikeouts for Strider, who, granted, it was a different version of him once upon a time, but has his best career strikeout per 9 numbers against the Reds by far than any other team.
And you can see that fastball is at 98, so he's inching back up there, but it's been his off-speed stuff, the breaking ball, that slider. There it is again, the curveball.
That's what he's done this year. Most strikeouts coming on that curve. De La Cruz went out and got a base hit that he served in front of Acuna, later scored from first. We've probably seen the 2 best runs on the field for De La Cruz in this series. His triple yesterday, he was home to third in a little over 11 seconds. It was elite. And the way he scored from first on the Blade base hit. Yeah, on the whole, his speed has been markedly down this year. He's still faster than most, but he's not shortlist for fastest in the sport. But in those 2 moments, he kind of looked like Ellie. A lifetime against the Reds. Small sample. Strider entered the day holding the Reds to a 114 average, lowest of any opponent, with 25 strikeouts in 13 innings. Up and in, and he walks De La Cruz. So Elliott aboard twice. First walk for Strider. J.J. Bleday back to the plate. Runner goes. Pitch misses down. Bad throw. Sails to center. De La Cruz pops up. He sprints for 3. And there's his speed impacting again. A great jump, a terrible throw, and that steal plus an error. E2 gives him 3rd.
And you said it, John. That's exactly what it is. Chadwick Trump grew up in the organization. He knows good and well about the speed of Ellie De La Cruz, as does the entire league. Press the issues. Mistake happens. Runner on third base.
We've already seen a few balls in the dirt from Strider. If one goes down now, called strike. Our Kia player profile, what Bleday has done in May.
Yeah, he's been just really, really good. Mentioned the quality of his at-bats. The results are certainly important.
Went on that curveball. Now our home plate umpire Nick Marley was trying to correct the count for everyone in the park after the stolen base attempt. He had both hands up. Miss. De La Cruz, by the way, now at double digits. That was his 10th steal this year. He now is 1 shy of 150 in his career. Good take by Bleday. Payoff is drilled right field. Off the base of the wall. De La Cruz scores. Bleday to second. Acuna's throw bad and offline. RBI standing double. A double-double day for J.J. Bleday, and it's 2-1 Reds.
Well, we talked about the success he's had so far this year in May, and look at this swing. No panic, just in a great groove right now. Continues to produce.
I did not think we'd see a double-double until Game 1, Knicks and Spurs on Wednesday. Could he go triple-double?
He could.
Down and away to Stewart, who has struck out. Riley plays deep at third. Toward the chalk a bit. Stewart down the left field line. Fair foul. Foul ball. That close.
Just a hair out in front. Those are the ones you just say, oh my goodness. Had I stayed back just a hair longer. And I hope he throws me that pitch again.
Helmet tap, ABS. Powered by T-Mobile.
Previous pitch is called a strike. Hitter's challenging.
Stewart is very aggressive in the amount of challenges this year. That is a ball.
6-0 return to a ball. Cincinnati, 2 remaining.
2-1 versus 1-2 is a big deal.
It is.
His 22nd ABS challenge, the most in the majors. Big lead for Bleday. Now the Reds as a team have challenged 59 times, so more than 1 out of every 3 Reds challenges are Sal Stewart. Take, and he works a walk. That's 3 straight Reds that have reached with 2 outs to take a 2-1 lead. And now the powerful Eugenio Suarez due up. Strider gets a visit. Jeremy Hefner, hired by the Braves as their pitching coach in November, had been the pitching coach with the New York Mets for half a dozen years. He's one of several imports from New York in the division to Atlanta, along with their first base coach Antoine Richardson. Braves have taken off on a meteoric rise to once again become the best in baseball, at least at this stage of the year. And the Mets have lived in the cellar for most of the campaign. 2 on for Suarez. Swing and a miss. He struck out at a fastball his first time. What stands out in this matchup?
Yeah, I just don't think that Gino has yet to find his groove. And so he's searching. It's been breaking ball. It's been fastball. It's been a little inconsistent. And we need him to get there quickly.
Should he hunt for something here, 0-2?
He's got to protect right here. Ducks on the pond. If you go down, you got to go down swinging.
Tries to slow his stroke at that slider, fouls it away. So far early this year, true fastballs, Gino's hitting 208, breaking balls 214, off speed, change up the cutter 308. And all the power has come against the first 2, but better contact has come against true off speed. Swing and a miss. Slider strikes him out. Faces Ozzie Albies, retired him on 1 pitch, ground ball to third first time. Here first pitch, sailed to left. All day for Bleday, settles and snares, 1 away. Join the Reds at GABP, Budweiser 3-2-1 Tuesdays. Every Tuesday home game, you can enjoy select $3 beers, $2 hot dogs, and $1 ice cream cups. Get tickets now, Reds.com/Tuesday. Mauricio Dubon is grounded out to first base. Dolo gets ahead. Do I have this right? First pitch strikes 12 out of 14 for Lodolo. That is right. Driven to left center. Done. And remember, his first pitch of the game was a bomb. He then went 3-0 to Michael Harris II. Seemed obviously gun shy against another really good hitter. And since then, he has snapped back into track, throwing strikes, getting ahead.
Yes, he has.
Austin Riley is grounded to third. Strike one. Now, first pitch strikes were a concern on his campaign. Below 60%.
Every pitcher that has ever pitched in the big leagues will tell you the best pitch in the game of baseball is strike one. Just opens up opportunity, strategy for you. After that first pitch of the ball game and those few hitters, he's established strike one.
And another pretty efficient inning. He's had a few on a very finite number of tosses.
Any Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer.
Oh, 1 to Lowe. Out of the zone. Lowe flied to left his first time. He had a solo homer in the 4th inning on Friday. Nubbed is short. Kim. Brings up Steer. Struck out of the foul tip against a slider his first time. Ball one. Topped foul to third. Brief word now from Jake Sweeney Chevrolet.
Jake Sweeney Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Well, Spencer Strider driving his pitches at noticeable uptick in velocity. He's up about a mile an hour today on his heater. But he's still throwing it less than half the time. He's leaned on that slider a lot. Check swing. Did he go? No. We have not seen nearly the same usage of his curveball. He's either saving that maybe for a third time through, or maybe he just has better feel for the slider. Slider usage is up significantly today, and the fastball's way up. That one at 97, had been sitting 95 on the year. Now, he did get a slower start. He had an oblique injury late in March, so his first start of the season came May 3rd. Steer to short. What a backhand by Kim. Some trouble to his feet. Base hit. Career high 19-game on-base streak for Spencer Steer.
Well, this ball was hit hard, 101 off the bat. And Kim gets to it just as momentum takes him into left field. Good pre-pitch. A little bit of second stumble there cost him from making a really good play.
Will Benson, who was from Atlanta, went to the Westminster schools in Atlanta. A weak ground out on one pitch his first time. A lifetime has hit against his hometown team pretty well, and he yanks this ball to right. Acuna fading back. Hops, he misses the ball. It skips off the wall. Steer spring for third. Benson for second. Wave is on at third. Albies through to the plate. It's laid. Steer scores. Oh, a missile drilled by Benson and a bad read by Acuna. It is 3-1 Reds.
Well, Will Benson is not wasting any time getting his opportunity and strokes this ball. Acuna, looks like he timed it, just missed it. Then a little bit of the fumble and the very aggressive Willie Harris at third base. We can get a camera. I don't know if we had a camera on Willie Harris after the score of third base, but he's doing a little dance down there. And I feel like, I know I've talked about the enthusiasm of Willie Harris. Guys pick up on this kind of stuff. When you see your coaches, and it's really important to them, you want to put it all out. Spencer Steer running hard from first base all the way to score.
Higgins to right, Acuna over, shades on, makes the play. They scored a double E9, no RBI.
I think he's a little excited with that third base. I'm telling you, guys pick up on everything. If it's important to your coaches, it's important to you as a player.
That's Benson's first extra base hit since May 2nd. Now Dunn, who has struck out twice, and twice today, Lark, the Reds have scored a man from first base on a base hit. That's the difference in the game, with the Reds up 3-1. Big lead for Benson. Down to the way to Dunn. He has struck out on both slider and fastball today. Takes a curveball strike. So now it's start, third time through. Strider has hardly shown the curve. He breaks it out for the third AB against Dunn. He went. Reds add on. May's first extra base hit since his first game of the month. That was May the 2nd. An unearned run on Spencer Strider lengthens the Reds' lead. 3 unanswered. They lead 3-1. A rare first pitch ball from Nick Lodolo. He follows that with another pitch out of the zone. But Jim Day, he follows his strongest start of the year with some positive efforts that allowed him to get a good night's rest.
Yeah, he told me after his last start he was able to go to sleep that night for the first time this season and feel normal and go to sleep with some positivity. Feels like he's coming around now. The breaking ball is still a work in progress. It is obviously a field pitch, and you're probably saying, well, shouldn't he have it by now? You got to remember, when he was rehabbing, they limited the number of breaking balls that he threw. So he believes just simple reps that it's going to get better and better, and we are seeing him, we hope, coming into form.
This is drilled to left center field by Mateo. And strikeout. Fourth of the year for Mateo. Leadoff shot makes it a one-run game.
Well, this is a high sinker. Middle, actually a little more middle in. Mateo has also shown his ability during this series. He's had a good one.
Kim is flying to left. Now, Lodolo has been very pitch efficient. He entered the inning with 43 pitches. That's the third fewest he had ever thrown through 4 innings in his big league career. Had a 7-pitch fourth, a 9-pitch second. But Mateo's one of the few that he both fell behind and deepened that hitter's count. He took a couple of pitches out of the zone. Nice. That slow sweeping breaking ball that comes in, and Kim almost lulled to sleep, just watched it. Twisted him like a top. Our Jake Sweeney Kia pitch tracks.
That was outstanding after that slow breaking ball. Then he comes back with the heater. Location of this one in on the hands of Kim, and good luck catching up to that. Only after that previous pitch, though.
Now Tromp, who has flying to center. Helmet flies off on a wicked swing, strike one. Another healthy cut, and the helmet flies once again. That had the makings of that patented back foot slider that prime Lodolo was known for. Multiple times in his career, he's hit a man with a pitch while that hitter struck out on it. Landed. Sticks the heater for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Lodolo.
It's all about execution of pitches. Lodolo doing a really nice job of inside establishing that fastball in, just frozen.
Downed it in on Acuna. Homered on the first pitch of the game, struck out on a curveball in the third. He was down 0-2 quickly. And while it was the curveball that struck him out, I actually thought the second pitch from Lodolo was even more important. He threw a changeup down and away, and Acuna swung out his cleats at it. He seemed convinced a heater was coming. A similar pitch, and he takes that one down and in. It's quickly 3-0. Yeah, they made this observation on the Fox show yesterday. Our friend next door, Brandon Gaudin, who does the Braves games, and AJ Przinsky, about how Acuna doesn't like the pitch in. You saw it there. that pitch was never going to hit him. And you see how he takes it and the grunt that he gives. And I mean, it's a good strategy against most elite hitters, right? You try to crowd him, but
well, I'm going to tell you, if indeed this was the case back before this particular era of baseball, he'd be seeing that pitch probably 90% of the time.
Michael Harris, the second, has walked and singled.
And I'm sure he would have been plunked quite a few times as well.
Acuna is only a few years removed from having 73 steals. He had 41 homers and 73 swipes in 2023. Takes off here. Pitch called a strike. Throw down. They got it. You could feel that one coming.
Yes, you could. But I'm going to tell you, I thought he got a pretty good jump. Looked like he went first move, but a perfect throw. And a great tag right there. P.J. Higgins putting that ball right where it needs to be.
Base hit, walk, a steal. He has scored twice. Reds have already tagged Spencer Strider with 3 runs, 2 earned. Driven to right center. He had been dormant for a week and a half, and Ellie seems to be hurt. He rounded first oddly and visibly hopped. He easily should have shot to second base, and immediately Terry Francona comes up the steps. He did not look right on that turn at first base.
We'll have to see the replay. I was looking in right field, didn't see at all what happened to Ellie De La Cruz, but put a really good swing on this ball, and I'm thinking double, possible triple.
He played through a leg injury bulk of last year. He's coming out of the game immediately. This is not good.
No.
You got to think Matt McLean, right? Got to shore up shortstop as well. So indeed, here comes McLean to run for De La Cruz. I'm with you. That's easy double, and I'm thinking possibly 3.
Yep.
And remember that earlier in this game and yesterday, we have probably seen the most aggressive, successful sprints for De La Cruz in what's been a down year of speed. He had the triple yesterday with 1 out. He scored from first base first inning today. In the 3rd inning, he stole second alertly after sliding, popped up, took third on the errant throw, and he tried to bust it there, probably thinking I could get a triple. Oh boy. Bleday, a couple of ribby doubles today. And we showed you the May production earlier for Bleday. 8 doubles, a triple, 8 home runs. First Red to have 17 extra base hits in a calendar month. Not just May, any calendar month since. That's right, the Punisher, Aristides Aquino, and his barrage in August of 2019. Aquino was player of the month. Was never the same man again. It was a great month. Look at him, helmet tap, ABS.
Previous pitch is called a strike. Hitter challenging.
It is a strike. Bleday is done.
Call is confirmed. Cincinnati has 1 challenge remaining.
Well, Strider now with 8 strikeouts, 1 off his season high. He has whiffed and walked Stewart today. Lark, as the rash of injuries have collectively seemingly caught up with the Reds, particularly in the bullpen. They're not nearly as dense as they once were. And even before the injuries, the bullpen production had dropped dramatically, going from the best in baseball, arguably tail end of April, into arguably the worst. Walk rate was crazy high most of May, and the ERA had skyrocketed. If there's any one player that the Reds could not lose, it's Elly De La Cruz. Stewart to right center. McLean sprinting hard. He's through second. Harris concedes the bag. He lobs to second base. Good job of running off the bench for McLean. First at third. Base hit Stewart.
And a really nice job of hitting from Sal Stewart. His fastball up out over the plate and trying not to do too much. That flat swing, kind of almost like a half swing. Really nice by Sal. But yes, major injury to Elly De La Cruz be devastating to the psyche of this team.
Lefty Dylan Dodd is up in the Braves pen. Eugenio Suarez has struck out twice. He's now 0 for his last 13, 7 strikeouts. First pitch golfed foul. It sails to the seat. Strike 1. Gino's been down 0-2 in each of his first 2 ABs. Check swing. Did he go? Yes. 0-2 again. Suarez lifts right field. Acuna's got an arm. McLean's got speed. Acuna with a bad route. Brings it in over the shoulder on the edge of the track. Easy tag and score. Sac fly RBI. Reds get a run back. It's 4-2.
Yeah, when this ball was first hit, I thought there was going to be a possible play at the plate, but that ball just continued to drift. Obviously, you want to get behind that ball if you're going to make a throw to home plate, but that ball just continued to fly. It's almost on the warning track.
Now Nathaniel Lowe cracks a foul opposite way. He is flying to left, bounced to short. When Strider has used his breaking ball, goes on a path that's often down and into lefties. It seems like a matchup that could favor Nathaniel Lowe. We haven't seen that perfect mistake just yet, but if it's made, Lowe is the kind of hitter to take prime advantage. Strider just south of 90 pitches. Misses on that slider that seemed to consciously be away. Grounded, backhanded by Olsen. Nice play. What consequence will come? Elly De La Cruz walking with a limp, lifted from the game. Getting ready to put on a pair. Matt McLean ran for Elly De La Cruz, takes over at short, straight switch. First pitch strike, Lodolo to Michael Harris the second. Harris has been on twice, a walk and a base hit. Grounded right to McLean. Ball to find you. Deep backhand. Lost his balance. It's a tough play. Base hit Harris.
It is amazing how when you're put into the game defensively like the ball finds you. It's amazing. And I feel like you know that as a player. Like, all right, this ball, it's coming to me. I'm just in the game. This ball's coming to me. There it is.
Matt Olson has struck out. He has foul popped to the catcher. Lifted center field. Dunn and Benson over. Benson's got it. Lark, the native position for Matt McLain is shortstop. Yes, he was a center fielder briefly in his early days as a Bruin at UCLA, but as he gained more years, experience, and skill, he's a shortstop. That's what he was in the minor leagues. We don't know what the status of Ellie is. Give us a feel for Matt McLain, the shortstop, particularly if he had to get extended reps there.
Matt McLain is a shortstop. You know, he's a major league shortstop. Just a very different style of play than Elly De La Cruz. But he's good. He's a very, very good player. And he is a really good shortstop. So make all the plays. He's got a strong arm. Smart.
Off the glove of Spencer Steer through second. Harris, he's got third. Base hit.
Hit the ball hard. Spence's glove. Look how deep his glove is. See how far back his glove is. If he gets his glove out a little bit more out in front of his body, it's something we talked about in spring training. He makes that play. His glove is just too deep.
Now away to Dubon. Lodolo is incredibly pitch efficient to this point. And yet the lead that sits at 2 in some peril. Tying runs are on. Go ahead run at the plate. Dubon is bounced to first, line to center. Lodolo misses away. Coming off his most labor-intensive inning that began with a Mateo homer and saw him later walk Acuna Jr. Got a piece. Braves 0 for 1 with men in scoring position. Not many chances. Swing and a miss. Man, that fastball had some life. You could see it in the swing that Dubon tried to adjust mid-stroke.
Well, it's 95 miles an hour inside and at the top of the zone. Perfectly placed.
Check swing. Did he go? Higgins gets the ball, does not ask for appeal. And it's a full count. Fouled away.
No indication at first base that Albies will be running. Antoine Richardson in his ear. Got a lefty, tough to read. Try to stay that double play. A lot of times you put that guy in motion.
And a miss to load him up. The third walk of the game for Lodolo. And the sacks are full for Riley, who's been a dormant bat this year. Today, a ground ball to third, a liner to right. He's hitless on the series. Officially announced as right hamstring tightness for Elly De La Cruz, the rationale for his departure from the ball game. Riley, bases loaded in his career, not very good. 186, couple of grandies. While Lodolo, bases loaded on his career, also not very good. The opponent 364, on base almost 480. That's 2 grandies. He has walked a guy bases loaded 6 times. A lot of that, I believe, came in his first few years in the bigs. But he just issued a walk to Dubon, and he's behind on Riley, hitting a slight 210. One and one. Riley co-leads this Braves team. He's grounded into 6 double plays this year. It's a great spot for a changeup or curveball down that gets that weak roller. Base hits off the gloves of McLean and Steer on the inning. 1 and 2.
Good pitch right there.
And a great grab in the stands. It's one of the louder roars we've heard in the game. Something got loose in the right field corner. There's a ball or something on the field. Will Benson just got it. Tossed it into the seats. Nowhere to put Riley, who's having his most wanting contact campaign on his career. Up and in. He has at times been a magnet to be hit by pitch. 22, he got hit 17 times. He's been hit by pitch almost 66-0 times in his career. Center field done. Has to fade back. That's got some carry. Stabbing grab. Runners tag at second and third. Harris scores. Sac fly RBI. Albies takes third. It's a 1-run game.
Riley hit that ball pretty good. That's 105 off the bat. Line drive that just continued to carry. You saw that ball to Acuna Jr. in right field that continued to carry. So the ball up in the air. It's being affected by the elements.
Strike one of Mateo, who homered off Lodolo his last time. He's also flying to right. Well outside. Driven to left center. Leday to the gap. He's got it. The Braves get a run. Lodolo strands 2. Quality effort for the Red Southpaw. 5:29 College Advantage Redlegs run, sponsored by Tri-Health. Reds fans of all abilities invited to run, walk, or roll across the finish here at GABP. Proceeds benefit the Reds Community Fund. Register at reds.com/run. Well, the Reds tagged Spencer Strider with a season-high 4 runs. He's on the hook. He is done. 4-3 the Reds lead. First out of the bullpen for the second time in this series, Skyline Chili called to the pen Didier Fuentes.
Yeah, we saw Fuentes game 1 of this series. Power fastball, slider and split. His rookie season, he's been really good so far this year. 8 consecutive appearances without allowing a run.
Squares the count at 1 on Steer. This is a rematch from that Friday affair. Now, he did allow an inherited man to come in on Friday. He came in and gave up an RBI hit to Sal Stewart, but got the next 4 Reds in a row. That includes Steer with a foul pop to third. He also struck out Suarez, got a ground ball from Nathaniel Lowe and from Tyler Stevenson. He was the first man that day behind Grant Holmes. He's the first man behind Spencer Strider this afternoon. Steer has singled, scored, struck out. His career high 19-game on base streak, the subject of our StatCast 3D Google Cloud, his hits during this run.
Yeah, the ability to hit the ball all over the ballpark. one of the strengths of Spencer Steer. A lot to left field, but the ability also to go center and right.
And just like yesterday, works a full count out of Fuentes. Bit of a picket fence in the middle innings. Each team scored in the opening inning. Reds at one point at 3 unanswered. Fouled back by Steer. But the Braves have been able to respond each of the last couple of frames. Each squad has kind of matched a score for score several innings in a row. Payoff again. Check swing. That's a ball. Steer is on. Brief word now from Miami Valley Gaming.
Get ready to get lucky at MVG. With over 2,200 of the best gaming machines, we got you covered.
Will Benson has doubled, grounded out. Did not get an RBI. Steer deemed to come home on an E9. The misplay by Acuna in the 4th. Benson takes strike 1. One ball and 1 strike. Moment for Benson. Athletic trainer Tomas Vera. Vera now asking Benson to stretch and flex his left knee and leg. Benson backpedaling, hopping, trying to test it out. And looks like he'll stay in. Among the many things this Braves team does well, part of the reason why their record is so good, a lot of their up relievers do a great job of limiting walks. Now Fuentes is right at league average. 9% is league average. He's exactly at 9%. Leadoff walk to Steer and a miss down to Benson. But Raisel Iglesias is 4.5%. That's way better than league average. Robert Suarez is a little over 5%. Dylan Lee is at 3%. And these are the up relievers. They don't walk guys. They throw strikes. Fouled back.
And that's critical. Can't give extra base runners. You got to make guys, especially at the tail end of the game, you have to make hitters earn their way onto the bases. So free passes through walks, it's a recipe for disaster.
Called a strike. Benson ABS. Reds have 1 to lose.
Previous pitch is called strike. The hitter is challenging.
Leday lost one earlier. That is a ball.
Pitch is straight to the ball. Cincinnati is 1.
I'll circle that moment. Remember, Sal Stewart used a challenge, later worked a walk. That was during a run scoring inning for the Reds. Benson stays alive. 3-2. Looking. Our Champion Windows pitch tracks.
Most difficult pitch to hit is a well-executed fastball. I don't know if that one was just well executed, just seemed to have surprised Will Benson. The ball was middle in, it wasn't in.
1-0 on Higgins. Dylan Dodd, lefty, had warmed earlier before Fuentes. He is up warming again. Check swing, ball gets away alertly. Steer claims second. Pass ball. Higgins hasn't had a ton of at-bats, but he has had some impactful hits. Think of some in Chicago when he served it just over the infield. This one well over the infield, deep right. Acuna going back, and he misses the ball again. Steer rounds third. Higgins into second. Another run for the Reds. Higgins gives it a ride, and Acuna's been on a roller coaster in right. It is 5-3 Cincinnati.
Well, this ball was pretty well struck, 97 off the bat, but I mentioned how the ball's carrying. The ball hit up in the air. And once again, Acuna having to go back on the ball. One step in front of the wall. Couldn't quite get there.
A double for Higgins. Now Dunn to left center. Tracked down by Harris. Higgins was halfway. He jogs back. That's 4 straight innings the Reds have played at a run, including each time the Braves have tried to chip away, the Reds have responded in kind. Matt McLain, who's had a trying offensive year. OPS is in the low 600s. He's hitting 197. He pinch ran when De La Cruz left with hamstring tightness in the 5th. His first plate appearance now. Ball 1. His playing time has gone down of late. We've seen a lot more Spencer Steer at second base. We're now at a point that he has over 1,000 at-bats in the big leagues. It's over 1,200 plate appearances. I honestly don't know. Who is Matt McLain, the hitter? Who do you think he is?
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I heard you. Well, you know, once again, what we saw earlier in the season is who I believe he is. The struggles are just part of it. Over 1,000 at bats, but still a relatively young player. See right there, that gives me hope right there. The take, right? The take. Being in position to hit is so critically important. And so when I'm looking at a hitter, I'm looking at not only his balance when he swings, but when he doesn't swing. It tells me a little something. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. That swing through the baseball. Ball's off the plate, actually. It's a balanced swing. You don't want a guy reaching. You want a guy getting in position to get behind the baseball to be able to drive the ball, be it to left, right, or center field.
Strike 3 call. Down looking at a breaking ball, leadoff walk by Steer. And P.J. Higgins with his first double as a Red delivers. Gets Steer home. Another healthcare while supplies last. Tickets, head to reds.com/tickets. Missed by Nick Lodolo. Stake to a 2-run lead. Now he's at 85 pitches. How long a leash does he get? And what does Terry Francona do? He's got Brock Burke now warming in his bullpen. Ha-Seong Kim has fly to left, has struck out. Check swing. I wonder, do you earmark Burke to face Acuna? I mean, Lodolo has seen him 3 times, and Acuna so far has homered and walked against him. He has struck out once. And you might ask, well, why the lefty Burke? Acuna has wide splits this year that are weird. He's hitting .291 against righties. He's in the 150s against lefties. You know, the numbers would say a lefty of some sort, whether it's Lodolo or Burke, is the right play.
That's correct. And I think Lodolo either laboring or not laboring in these 2 batters before Acuna will tell Terry Francona everything he needs to know.
High in the air to left, Leday. And the man being on or not is a big deal. Looks like they're going to yank back Trump and pinch hit, trying to set the stage for Acuna. The speedy Eli White will stand in. He is a capable bunter. He's one of the faster men in the majors. The Reds have witnessed his speed firsthand, head-to-head in recent years.
Yeah, Eli White, a guy that comes off the bench that can absolutely fly as well. One of the faster men in the game.
So Lodolo and Higgins talk it over. White cracked the bigs with Texas in 2020. He's been with the Braves since 23. Last year was his most pronounced taste of the bigs at 234 at 10 steals. Just how fast is he? Well, this year, the sprint speed numbers. Number 1 in baseball is Bobby Witt Jr., who, by the way, is coming to town with the Royals tomorrow and is having an incredible year. Number 2 is Eli White. And right behind him by 100ths of a second in the feet per second speed is his teammate, Jorge Mateo.
Jorge Mateo, 30 years old. Eli White, 31 years old.
Pinch hitting here for Trump. Swing and miss. Great curveball from Lodolo. The White thought he was done.
That's just 2.
And he's still walking away. It was a first pitch ball to White, who started to stride away, then checked in with home plate umpire Nick Marley, who said, no, you're still alive, and White walked away again. Be ready for your moment. You're pinch hitting in a 2-run game, and he just was about to give up on an at bat with strike 2. Down and in, almost got him. You do not want to hit this guy. He is a base stealing maven. He's got great speed. You've got Acuna, who's on a heater on deck, who already has a multi-home run game this series. He's the tying run if White reaches. Three and 2. Lodolo knows the weight of this pitch. And it is possible it could be out of his hands. Burke by now is ready. 3-2. Sail to right center. Benson makes the play and exhale. 2 down. So now you let him face him, right? Because he's got the cushion.
That's right.
First pitch of the game, Acuna did this.
He wasted no time at all. The book has been throw Acuna fastballs up. That was a fastball, didn't quite get up enough. 1-0 ball game at that point.
But would you agree this is his last hitter no matter what? If he loses him with the lefty Harris on deck, that's the reason Burke's warming?
I said that's probably a scenario that could potentially happen. Hopefully we don't get there, because he records this out right here.
3-0. If there is a hitter in the sport, I have no data, I haven't looked it up, that I would be confident would swing 3-0 on something in the zone here and now, Acuna is one of those guys. Takes all the way, and that's ball 4. And immediately Terry Francona heads to the steps. A 2-out walk to Acuna. Lodolo understandably careful against the brave star who was broken out this set. And that's going to be all, it appears, for the Reds' southpaw starter. Burke will get the call to face Michael Harris II. Tying run at the plate. 5-3 Reds. Put in line for the win. His longest outing, not just of this season, but since his lone complete game when he went 9 and delivered a donut in D.C. against Washington on July the 23rd of last year. Man on 2 down, tying run at the plate, a rematch from last night. Brock Burke against Michael Harris II.
Pretty good numbers out of the bullpen for Brock Burke. 22 appearances this year without an earned run. He's tied for 8th amongst left-handed pitchers coming out of that pen. Pretty good.
Ahead on Harris 0-2. Got a fly to left from him yesterday. Here's a fly ball left side. Bleday fighting the sun. Got him again. Strands the hand-me-down man. So Lodolo in line for the victory. A quality start. We'll keep it here and listen in to God Bless America. We'll start streaming now. Our Toyota game summary. Spencer Strider tagged with a season-high 4 runs, 3 earned. Did strike out 8. Nick Lodolo's longest outing since his CG in D.C. in late July last year. J.J. Bleday, a double-double. Changes in the battery for the team from the battery. New pitcher Dylan Dodd to new catcher Sandy Leon. A high pop by Bleday, handled by Riley. Sal Stewart up and away. He has singled, walked, and struck out. Dodd's had some limited taste of the show since breaking in at 23. In a short sample, he's had his best year this year. Over 10 strikeouts per 9. Just those 9 2/3 innings, 11 Ks, 1 walk, no homers. It's just pure limited base runners and has bolted down a save. Fouled back. He's a 3rd rounder, hails from Elk Grove, Illinois. Pitched his collegiate baseball in the OVC, the Ohio Valley Conference. Was that league's pitcher of the year at SEMO, Southeast Missouri State. Down and away. Time for Stewart. And Dodd was a major ground ball guy his last couple of years in the bigs. That's not been the case as much this year. He's also cut down on hard hit contact dramatically. And he gets a high pop. Shades of both there. Van Olsen. Brief word now from Auto Owners Insurance.
We customize your policy, so when the unexpected happens, you know you're covered. That's simple human sense.
And not many Reds have seen much of Dodd, but Eugenio Suarez has homered against him in 2 ABs. Suarez has a sac fly. He has struck out twice today. Strike one. So with his book complete, what was your take on Lodolo today?
99 pitches, 98 pitches last time in New York. Pitched great New York. Obviously not as precise, but really made some good pitches today, and that's what it's all about.
Driven to deep right center by Suarez. He takes him out of the yard again. A big fly from Gino, his 4th of the year, his 2nd lifetime off Dodd, and the Reds are doubling up the Braves 6-3.
Well, I mentioned how the ball is traveling. Gino gets the ball up in the zone. And this was just a line drive to right center field. Just extends those arms. And that ball just carries out of the ballpark. Well struck. It was 102, almost 103 off the bat. With a really nice compact swing.
Left on left against Lowe, who fouls one away. He's 0 for 3. Well, Suarez had 2 homers in the first week of the year, and that huge one against the Red Sox, opening series of the campaign. He went deep on Tax Day, April 15th. That was his first home run since. Now, granted, in his defense, he missed about a month with his oblique issue. Did not play from April the 22nd until May the 23rd. But as we talked about earlier, that's kind of the ups and downs that are going to come with Gino. He had the pair of 2-hit days in succession in New York. He went dormant for several games. Strikeouts piled up a bit. He's knocked in 2 runs today. And he's going to help you win games by doing that. That's a big run.
Yes, it is.
And that's where, on the whole, now who knows what the near-term state will be of Ellie De La Cruz. I'm not sure if we'll know after the game. I think we'll know more tomorrow. You hope it's something he could avoid IL time, but it didn't look great pulling up limp at first base like that. 3-2, swing and a miss. But this Reds offense has put 6 on the board today, and Gino has knocked in 2 of them.
Gino gets the ball out over the plate. Gets his arms extended, puts another one on the board.
Reds 6, Braves 3. Reds trying to stave off a sweep at the hands of the Braves. Won baseball's best record. First pitch, swing and miss. Matt Olson against Brock Berg. Olson has struck out, foul pop to the catcher, flying to right. Reds have Tony Santillan warming. Burke ahead in a heartbeat, 0-2. I saw Burke pitch back-to-back ball games last series in New York. Back-to-back games in this set as well. And the Reds do not have the luxury of an off day tomorrow. They'll have the Royals coming to town. Royals have been dreadful. They have lost 15 of 18 entering today. They were a team that handed the Reds one of their worst lashings in this ballpark. One of their recent visits. I think Kansas City and Toronto were Probably the two teams that tore up the Reds the most. Oh, great stabbing grab by Steer. He only had a moment to lunge to his right, and just above the dirt robs Matt Olson. Our Allstate Good Hands replay.
Pre-pitch is so vitally important to get ready for that ball that potentially can come to you. The thought is every ball's coming to me. Spence shows the quickness, but it all happened because he prepared before that ball was hit.
Now Ozzie Albies, weak tapper. Low, Burke covering. Those two teammates in other unis as well. They work in concert. 2 down.
Kind of in between. It's nice to see Nate Lowe take control right there. Pitcher's got to go right to the bag. No panic, no problem.
Now Dubon, who was grounded out, lined out, and walked. Oh, Jim, Nathaniel Lowe has shared with you that he sometimes gives some pitching advice to Brock Burke.
Yeah, when they were teammates in Texas, I mean, Burke at times has an upper 90s fastball and is just, when he falls behind the count, will just openly tell him, like, hey, what are you doing? Just throw the fastball as a hitter. Trust me, it's still a round ball, and a round bat's hard to hit. So tries to get him to use that fastball more, particularly the four-seam fastball.
Is that a message that he shares as they're both out there on the field?
He said on my podcast is one time, I believe they went to the mound. He said, what are we doing? Like, throw your fastball. He's very open now. Nate Lowe, he'll say what's on his mind.
1-2. It's driven down the right field side. And Jim, the listeners to the Jim Day podcast are going to hear more of Lowe, but in a previously teased and different role.
Yeah, it teased that he was going to co-host, and he will do that tomorrow. Spencer Steer as the guest.
So it's got to be renamed, right? It's the Jim Day / Nathaniel Lowe podcast, or the Nathaniel Lowe podcast featuring Jim Day and guests.
We actually talked about that a little bit. I mean, you know, acts grow tired, like yours truly, so he might take the thing over. It was really good. I'll tease you with that.
Jim played me a short snippet of it the other day, and it was exceptional. I can't wait to listen. 3-2 is golfed through, strike 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Burke. Wherever you get your pop. For the game today, what a gorgeous day. And a pretty score on the board. Reds 6, Braves 3. First pitch, Reynaldo Lopez, new man on the mound, gets ahead on Spencer Steer.
Four-seam fastball, slider, curve, and changeup. Could keep putting runs on the board.
Down and away.
A run in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
This has to be one of the better strings of scoring the Reds have shown on the year. Doesn't always have to be one fat crooked number. A lot of good innings in succession can also do some damage. As the Reds lark today, they're not done yet. They've nearly matched their run total during their 3-game slide. They had scored 7 in the 3 losses. They have 6 today. Steer down the right field line, foul. Now remember, we showed you earlier Brave skipper Walt Weiss tackling former Brave Jorge Soler. The man he was going after, the reason that Weiss had to tackle him, it was his former teammate Reynaldo Lopez. Soler had homered earlier in that game, and Lopez threw one over his head, and this one's got carry over Acuña's head deep right, and he misses it again. Steer into second base with a slide. I know there's some wind, but these are some of the worst reads from a great player that I've ever seen in one game.
Yeah, he certainly has not picked up the ball well defensively. This ball looks like it's a pop-up, but once again, this ball short hops the wall, the outfield wall. And he's getting there, but that ball just continues to travel
They mentioned getting a run. How about a leadoff double? Now Will Benson, who has doubled, he's 1 for 3. Check swing seemed to go. Appeal says yes. Benson fouled one off the upper part of his leg. Athletic trainer Tomas Vera had him stretching and bending. He hopped a bit trying to test it out. He of course stayed in. Takes a strike. We saw him in that AB employ a challenge to stay alive. Denied a punch out on a ball to bring the count full. Next pitch he went down looking at a fastball. It was a very meaty strike. Check swing, ball downstairs, leaks some on Sandy Leon. Benson did go, lobbed down to an unoccupied first, put out complete. The score 2-3, 1 out. It's a good recovery by Leon because Steer was angling to try to take third. P.J. Higgins ribby double that was not read great by Ronald Acuna Jr. He's also fouled to right and straight fly to right. A lot of his batted balls have been destined for Acuna today. Doubled his first extra base hit, not just as a Red, but his first extra base hit since 2022. He of course had a long break out of the bigs, had not been in the majors since 22. Spent that year with the Cubs. His last extra base hit came in this ballpark. It was a double as a Cub last game of that season. Swung through. Now Blake Dunn, who has struck out 3 times today, he's also flying to center. Popped up. Olsen. A leadoff double. Steer stranded at second. Tony Santillan had been warming. It looks like Big Tone will be in. The Reds up 6-3. The advantage is Tony Santillan hits the mound.
Figure with all the injuries in that bullpen that Santillan is probably going to get a lot of looks. He did pitch in yesterday's ball game.
Two of 5 in save tries this year. Riley's 0 for 2 with a sac fly. Dom Smith is on deck to pinch hit for DH Jorge Mateo. Yanked way wide. First 5 outings this month, Santillan was tagged with at least 1 run. Gave up 9 runs, 8 earned in that time as his ERA ballooned from the 1.9s to over 5.5 on the year. 2-1. High in the air, left field, Bleday. It's been better times though for Santillan of late. 4 of his last 5 outings have been scoreless. 3 of them have been hitless. One of the outliers only saw 1 hit and base runner. But his last save try was a blown one. The only time he allowed runs. He gave up 2 in 1 inning to the Cardinals. That was late in game 2 of the doubleheader 8 days ago against St. Louis. So Smith stands in. Mateo ends his day 1 for 3 with a homer. Smith was 0 for 4 yesterday when he served as the DH. He had 3 hits and scored a couple of runs Friday in the opener. He's having a career year in terms of contact. 0-1. Another pinch hitter, Mike Yastrzemski, is on deck, who represents the last position player on the Braves bench. He's set to hit for Ha-Seong Kim. 0-2. Away. Atlanta wants lefties here against Santillan. Both have stood in for right-handed counterparts. Away. Only 2 Braves lifetime have an extra base hit against Santillan. That includes Kim, who is going to get pinch hit for in the next AB. (3-2). And also has been dreadful this year. That's certainly the superseding idea. 0-2 to 3-2. Payoff is away. Lefties have been a problem for Santillan this year. The average, he's actually better against lefties than righties, but walks, he's now issued 12 walks on the year. 11 have been to left-handed hitters. The on base jumps up 100 points in favor of lefties. And Walt Weiss knows he needs base runners. His team's down 3. So the left-handed Smith, now the left-handed Yastrzemski. RBI hit in the walk yesterday. He was 1 for 3. And he takes ball 1. Also got on 3 times on Friday. Single, ribby, double, a walk, and a run scored. He's had a strong month of May. Smith not held on. Low plays behind him. And to your point, Lark, because of the injuries in the bullpen and the recent track record of Santillan the last couple of years, I think the Reds need Tony Santillan to be a productive part of their bullpen.
Yep.
Arm side misses here, away to lefties. Fouled away. Sam Maul is up. Terry Francona is working with the net. He and Maul get the last out yesterday as well. That would mean 2 of the 3 lefties going to back-to-back games. That's slapped to left. That's down for a hit. The tying run's going to come to the plate. Gathered by Bleday. Now the Braves are in one bit of a pickle. Walt Weiss elected to hit for Chadwick Trump with Eli White back in the 7th. That means the next half inning he had to bring Sandy León in to serve as the catcher. He has no other catcher. He has no other position player. He's used them all. So León, who is not nearly the hitter that he once was, does not run well. In a double play situation with 1 out in the 9th inning, is going to stand in. He has to hit. He's hitting below 100. It's Acuna on deck. If you're the Braves, it sounds incredibly dumb. I
Don't
would
say it.
I would consider bunting.
Don't say it.
Because the thing you cannot do if you're Atlanta is hit into a double play.
You're right.
You'd rather he strikes out.
You're right.
Is he going to make it? Probably not. I think Zion would get the ball and get him. First pitch lifted left side. Bleday. So Acuna is going to come to the plate, and wow, you can feel it building to something like this. What a test for Zion, trying to bolt down the save. He's going to face the tying run at the plate. One of the league's elite hitters when he's right, who this series appears to be as right as he's been in some time.
Yeah, question is, how do you attack him? 3 lefties you just faced.
Breaking ball strike. He has homered in 4 straight games, 5 total in that time. 4 coming in this 3-game series. That just nipped the zone. That's sent over second, down for a base hit. Wave is on at third. Here comes Smith. Throw goes to second. Smith scores. Acuna aboard for a 4th time today, his 2nd ribby. He's now the tying run on. It's a 6-4 game.
Doubled up on the slurve. Pitch down and away, and Acuna shows that he's capable of just going down and just serving that ball to center field.
And this is exactly why I think Terry Francona made the wise decision, had Maul warming. You want Tony to get it done, you gotta win the game. He gave up the hit. He's had trouble with lefties. Harris is due up. Maul gets the call. Board go ahead run bats, just like the final out Reds pitching recorded yesterday. It's Sam Maul against Michael Harris II.
Sam's been really good. He's going to be another high leverage guy now. Tito Francona is definitely showing his hand. Bottom line is you've got options down there. You've got to use all of them because these wins are so vitally important.
Facing the best road hitter in the bigs. Harris aboard 3 times today. First pitch down and away. Maul struck him out on 3 pitches yesterday. Now Maul was technically 1 for 8 in save tries, but in the 9th and later, he's only had 1 chance. The success in 23 with the A's against the Yankees. And he lands a sweeper strike. Just in case it goes off the rails further. ABS.
Previous pitch is called strike. The hitter is challenging.
TJ Antone is warming in the Reds pen. That is a strike.
Call is confirmed. Atlanta has 1 remaining.
Harris has walked, singled twice, scored a run today. The speedy Acuna is the tying run off first base. Fouled back, and Maul a strike away.
That ball was over the middle of the plate. It was a little bit down, but I believe that was a mistake that he got away with. The ball was right over the center of the plate.
One, 2, down and away. It goes beyond last night. Maul has faced Harris 5 times. Harris has 1 hit against him. Maul has struck him out 4 times. Third base is open. Matt Olson is on deck. Fouled away. The Reds trailed 1-0 before they grabbed their bats. They tied it in the bottom half of that opening inning. They took a lead in the 3rd and have led ever since. Outfield plays as deep as I can recall them playing all year. Away, helmet tap. Could that be the game?
Previous pitch is called a ball. The catcher is challenging.
ABS. Ball.
Call is confirmed. Cincinnati has none remaining.
It's wise to use if extras were to come. You don't carry an extra. Only if you have two. If you have one, you would still have one in extras. Runners are going to go. Payoff pitch. Fouled away. How big do those insurance runs look for the Reds right now? It's still, they're on a tightrope. This will be the 8th pitch of the plate appearance. Already 3 fouls for Harris. Runners go. Hard foul. Barely. Wow, that could have been major trouble. That would have been a tie and a go-ahead run in scoring position. The Reds outfield so deep, trying to give them a chance to deny Acuna scoring from first on a base hit. Runners go again. Inside, bases loaded. So now the tying run is in scoring position, and one of the premier run producers in the league this season, Matt Olson, comes to the plate. Olson is 0 for 4. He lined to second his last time. Left on left. Grounded. Stewart. Nobody at second. Throw to first. Got it. Ball game. Sam Maul bolts down his first save as a Red, the second of his big league career, and Cincinnati survives. The Braves lead loaded in the ninth, and they avoid a sweep.
Well, you had to have it, and it was really nice to see a collection of guys out in the bullpen come out and lock that game down. I think Nick Lodolo didn't have great numbers today, but I think he showed the warrior that he is with his 99 pitches and giving this team a chance. The offense continued to score 1 run throughout all of the different innings, just continue to chip away and got the job done. The hope is that Elly De La Cruz, with the apparent hamstring injury, is not a terrible injury, but what an incredible win for this team. Have not been swept in a while, and that's the injury I'm talking about with Elly De La Cruz. Still haven't been swept in a while, and their backs were against the wall, and they answered the bell. Nice win.
That was in the 5th inning. It looked like a surefire double, maybe a triple. Right hamstring tightness. The initial announcement. We'll have more from Terry Francona of the Reds clubhouse on the Reds postgame show. Your final.